16 weeks gone. Just 2 remaining.
Chargers win it, and they are in the postseason for the first time since 2018, and the first time in the young career of Justin Herbert.
Our team got the last laugh as we pushed our record to 11-5, while the TPSers settled into a 9-7 finish for Week 16. To make matters even worse for the TPS fans, we nailed it with our lock of the week. Meanwhile, y'all whiffed it on your dog of the week. But because we actually have a correct score for once, thanks to the Saints-Brown game finishing 17-10, we are going to give out one prize to one Carlos Alberto Vermejo, who correctly identified 10 Nick Foles Philly special sightings in last week's video. As for the rest of you, it's on to next week, and we're shaking the contest up yet again. To win any prizes this week, make sure that you, number 1, are subscribed to our channel. Number 2, like this video. Number 3, comment below with your prediction for Justin Jefferson's receiving yardage total against the Packers. We are ready and willing to give away some TPS bucks, so get those predictions in, subscribe, share, and hit that like button. Now let's get into the Week 17 slate. Dallas Cowboys at Tennessee Titans, TPS Lock of the Week. Dallas Cowboys are fresh off a big divisional win over the Birds, admittedly with their MVP quarterback Jalen Hurts missing in action, and now they head to Nashville to face a Titans team that is reeling and in serious danger of losing the AFC South crown that once looked like a far-gone conclusion. We're starting this week off with a consensus pick, as both the fans and experts like the Cowboys in this one. Only difference is, we're taking it as our lock of the week. And with pretty dang good reason. Things are not going to get any easier for Tennessee now that their quarterback Ryan Tannehill is done for the year. Dallas's defense will make things mighty tough for his stand-in, rookie Malik Willis. Cowboys kick the Titans while they're down and win this one by a final score of 24-10. Arizona Cardinals at Atlanta Falcons. The Arizona Cardinals are heading down to Hotlanta to take on a Falcons team that was mercifully eliminated from playoff contention. Once again, we have another consensus pick, and this time it's Atlanta. Even with the realization that their season is over, the Falcons will run wild over a porous Cardinals defense, and Arizona will have its work cut out for them this week, running it back with third-string quarterback Trace McSorley.
I'm your favorite quarterback, they call me Trace McSorley.
It won't be exciting, but look for Atlanta to edge out its fellow Bird by a final score of 20-16. Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots. The Dolphins are headed north to try and salvage their postseason chances against their divisional foe, the New England Patriots. Y'all think that the Dolphins get right this week, but with the cold weather that will likely be waiting for them in Foxborough, our experts have their doubts. Although New England hasn't had a great season, it's time for role reversal. And instead of years past when the middling Dolphins were always a thorn in the Patriots' side at the end of the season, New England finally returns the favor and plays spoiler in Week 17. Our final prediction, Patriots 21-20. New Orleans Saints at Philadelphia Eagles. The New Orleans Saints will have their work cut out for them this week as they head to the city of brotherly love to square off with an Eagles team that is hungry for a bounce-back win and eager to secure home field advantage throughout the playoffs. We're back in alignment on this one, as both sides are picking the Eagles, and with very good reason. Philly has been one of the absolute best teams in the league all year long, and regardless of whether or not Jalen Hurts is back in action, they should have no problem with a Saints team that has holes all over the place. Eagles roll in this one 30-17. Indianapolis Colts at New York Giants. The New York Giants are fresh off a heartbreaking loss to the Vikings and in desperate need of defending their home turf. Luckily, it's the lowly Colts invading, so they should have more than a puncher's chance to keep their playoff hopes alive. That is, at least according to the TPS fans. And in fairness, we see what y'all are seeing. Indy has been, well, bad this year. But let's face it, this Giants team has been punching above its weight class all season long. The G-men are due for a big letdown performance. Unfortunately, it's gonna come when it matters most. The Colts play spoiler in New York and take this one by a final score of 26-20. Carolina Panthers at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Carolina Panthers are headed down to Tampa Bay for a showdown between the two teams that are under 500 but are still very much in playoff contention because the NFC South has been oh so pitiful this year. Y'all are riding with Brady and the Bucs, but after watching the way that Steve Wilkes has rallied this Panthers team, we have a hard time believing it, even if Brady is the GOAT. Carolina rides a revitalized Sam Darnold to a shocking 27-24 victory against the Bucs at home, moving them into pole position in the admittedly meager NFC South. Denver Broncos at Kansas City Chiefs. Fresh off the Nathaniel Hackett firing, the lowly Broncos are headed to Arrowhead Stadium to play the Chiefs, a team that has consistently looked like one of the best in the league all season long. Yeah, no shocker here. Both the fans and experts are in alignment that Kansas City should have no problem in this one. The Chiefs' offense can pretty much score at will, and now that Denver's defense has seemingly mailed in the rest of the season, based off that performance against the Rams, it seems like a safe bet that Mahomes and co. take this one. Final prediction, Chiefs 28, Broncos 10. Chicago Bears at Detroit Lions. The Chicago Bears are going down to the Motor City to face a Lions team desperate to stave off elimination for one more week. Dan Campbell has orchestrated quite a revival this season after the team started 1-6. And the TPSers think that he's got another rabbit in his hat this week against a Bears team that is well positioned for a top draft pick if they keep up the losing. I wouldn't be surprised to see them pull off an untimely upset. That not only destroys Lions fans' hopes, but also inconveniences their own organization by hurting their draft position for next year. Bears win in an exciting one that does no one any good by a final score of 33-30. Cleveland Browns at Washington Commanders. The Cleveland Browns season has been an absolute disaster, but Stefanski's team will look to salvage a little bit of pride this week in the nation's capital with an opportunity to play spoiler to the Washington Commanders. Both the TPS fans and experts think that Washington will rally back this week after a shellacking at the hands of a juggernaut 49ers team. The Commanders have too much to play for to drop this one at home to a Browns team that has looked rather defeated for some time now. Commanders take a low-scoring affair, 14-10. Jacksonville Jaguars at Houston Texans. By some stroke of luck, the Jaguars have found themselves with a real chance to win the AFC South. But before they get to their big showdown against the Titans in Week 18, they have to get through a meaningless Week 17 contest against the Texans. Despite the Jags' lack of incentive to win this game, the TPSers are going to ride the momentum that Trevor Lawrence and co. have built over the last couple of months. But the Texans have been rather frisky in their own right. Just ask the Titans, who were upended by Houston last week. We think that Houston continues to cause chaos and ruin their chances at the first overall pick by beating Jacksonville 27-24. San Francisco 49ers at Las Vegas Raiders. The San Francisco 49ers are looking to continue their torrid 7-game winning streak as they travel to Sin City this week to take on the floundering Raiders. Las Vegas has been a dumpster fire this year, and consistently it seems to find new ways to lose. Both the TPS fans and experts are in agreement that this kind of self-inflicted struggle will not bode well against the Niners. The 49ers rushing attack should have no problem blistering the Raiders D. Our final prediction is 49ers 30, Raiders 21. New York Jets at Seattle Seahawks. At long last, the Jets have gotten word that Mike White has been cleared to return to action, and he'll be slotted back into the starting lineup this week against the Seattle Seahawks. Which I'm sure is music to the ears of Jets fans who've watched their playoff hopes fall into serious question due to White's injuries and Zach Wilson's utter incompetence. The fans like the Jets to rally back behind their signal caller, but our experts think that Seattle will be able to defend its home turf. Geno Smith hasn't been perfect as of late, but he's done more than enough this year to instill confidence in his team. And Pete Carroll will be able to get his team up for this one, as they still have a chance at stealing a postseason berth. Seahawks win a tight one at home, 16-13, and end the Jets season in the process. Minnesota Vikings at Green Bay Packers. Drum roll please, because we have our dog of the week. And it just so happens to be in an NFC North showdown with more than bragging rights on the line. Green Bay has miraculously turned its season around, and though it needs a little help, the Pack have a real chance to sneak into the playoff picture if they run the table to close the season. The TPSers aren't buying it though. And in fairness, the Vikings have certainly proved to be one of the better teams in the league this year. But we, on the other hand, are buying into a little more Rodgers voodoo. Number 12 and the Packers find a way to win a close one at home, 24-23. Los Angeles Rams at Los Angeles Chargers. Rams and Chargers, the Battle of Los Angeles, a true blue football city. Y'all think that the Chargers are taking this one. But you know, Sean McVay's bunch have done a pretty nice job of picking up the pieces after their hopes of defending their title were shattered early this year. Baker Mayfield really has something to prove too. We think he pulls off some late game heroics and the Rams win 28-24. Pittsburgh Steelers at Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers are headed to Baltimore for some late season AFC North football. We have a split decision here. The TPSers are picking the Ravens. Meanwhile, our experts like Tomlin's gang to rally up on the road. The Steelers are a different team with TJ Watt in the lineup, and Kenny Pickett is really starting to show some signs. Plus, who knows what Lamar Jackson's status will actually be for this game. The Steelers steal a close one, 17-13. Buffalo Bills at Cincinnati Bengals. Finally, Monday Night Football, and a hell of a matchup. It's the Bills and the Bengals, with serious playoff implications at stake, even though both teams have secured their postseason berths already. The fans are rocking with the Bills on the road, but we aren't so sure. Joe Burrow always seems to find a way to get the job done when the pressure is cranked up the highest, and this week will be no exception. In what should develop into a contender for Game of the Year, Cincy edges out Buffalo 31-28. Well, there it is. Our picks and yours for the second to last week of the 2022 season. Who's gonna get it right this time? And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, then add your own prediction for Justin Jefferson's receiving yardage total down below for a chance to win some awesome prizes. And be sure to vote on next week's games right now in our community section. Then tune in next week to see if you won.